Hey guys, welcome back to DMAC Customs. In the garage, Dave, usual sort of story. Area 51, still wiring. Still got a lot of wiring to do, but we're getting there. Last go around, what did we do? The gauges, the new vintage gauges. They look pretty sweet sitting in there. This go around, we've got a whole bunch of stuff we're still got to do, but I do want to maybe sort of come up the front and start kind of sorting out some of this, like working out where all my headlights, park lights and all of that kind of stuff's going to run to. And I still haven't got a thermostat temperature sender, which will go in that little port back there, which I forgot all about that during the week. It's been really kind of under the pump, some big projects on at work, so yeah, so that's where we're going to go. So anyway, let's just get into it. Okay, so to start with, I think there's a couple other things I want to button up in here, and one I keep forgetting about is this, just a little courtesy light in the glove box. And I also want to run a wire and do my trunk release. So we'll set up a wire that's going to run down the back, and we'll kind of wire the trunk release. That'll just be on a 12-volt constant somewhere. I'm not sure what to wire this into, whether to, yeah, that probably should be 2, so it's kind of on a live feed all the time. As long as the glove box is shut, it should be all good. What else I would like to do in this go around as well is actually put some battery cables and that in, so I can kind of hook some main power up, so I can start kind of testing and things like that before I go too far, if you know what I'm saying, like, and get the whole thing wired up and all of that kind of crap, and then find all sorts of issues and then have to backtrack. So I wouldn't mind doing a little bit kind of like testing with voltage once we get the sort of headlights wired and park lights and stuff, and then we can kind of see you know, if our indicators are working, turn signals and stuff like that. It'd be quite cool to get headlights and stuff in, maybe not loomed. I suppose I can. I've got to figure out, oh, here's my stuff for the front there. Lucky I didn't go looking for that inside. But we've got some kind of factory holes down here, which I want to kind of maybe try and utilize to bring my headlight harness through here, and then we'll have to figure out where we're going to run it across to the other side. I was thinking it might have to come back down somewhere, or it might just come down on the inside here and maybe run it across that cross member or underneath the core support somewhere. We'll need to find some way of kind of clipping it up, whether we do something on that. God, the dust, it's already scratched. And then we can run it back up. We've got a hole here? No, so we've got a hole here. We need to figure out where we can run that wiring to get it neat and tidy up under there, you know, P-clips and stuff like that possibly, but yeah, we'll loom it all up so it's all black and stuff, and so that hopefully will make it disappear a little bit in behind here. Like I say, I'm not too fussed about having some exposed wiring in here, but I don't want it all just spaghetti all over the place. I want to kind of keep it fairly tidy. So let's get into it. We'll start with that switch, I reckon. Okay, so this is the original starter switch. She's a little bit, you know, showing her age a little bit. What I might do, I've just been trying to do a little continuity test on it, so I'll see if I can replicate my results. And it is got continuity, but it's kind of pretty weak. So yeah, this should beep, but it's not. It's showing something happening, but so obviously it's probably a bit dirty and crunchy and that inside there. So we'll take that apart, give it a bit of a clean up, wire brush things and put it back together, and we should be good to go. So that just screws off there. Yeah, she's a bit dry feeling inside, so we'll have a look anyway. I might just be able to bend these tabs back and open it up and just make sure it's not all rusty and crap inside. Okay, so you can see there's a little bit of pitting in that on that contact, no big deal. There's also a bit on the other side of it, a bit of like, you know, carbon build-up and stuff, and that was obviously connecting there. So what I can do is clean it all up, maybe turn that around, just to give it a new lease. There's a wee spring and a wee slider, so we could maybe put a little bit of lithium grease or something in there, but I'll give all this a bit of a clean up and then we'll put it all back together. Okay, so that's it all cleaned up, put together. That was really nice and simple. Wasn't that bad inside, just a little bit of, obviously where there's been voltage going through, it's got to mucked up those terminals a little bit. So now we're getting a much better continuity through there. That little brass tab, I spun it around so it had a better chance, I thought, and just cleaned up the button. The button's actually cracked, but it'll be alright. It's just going to be my boot release. Okay, so just got to run some wire for that, or kind of get it started anyway. Got to cut if I can ever get into this cut waiting to happen. I'm just going to use this green wire just as a I've actually got a green wire, but it's a different green wire running out the back already, and this one will be labelled, this one won't. So this is quite a light gauge, it doesn't need to be that heavy, it's just a momentary push button, I reckon. So I need a piece to go from the gauge over to get power. So I wonder if I should use a red wire to the power side and then green wire out the back. Don't know. I've got plenty of little offcuts of red wire. Maybe I'll do that and then run this out the back. But anyway, with my things, you can actually terminate this with one of my little, I got me some of these little U-shaped ones which will go into these doodads like that. I might actually put them in that way and bend them so the wires come out the back. Yeah, something like that. And they've already got heat shrink on them. Smaller ones would be better. Have I got any smaller ones? I don't think so. Oh, maybe. I do. Oh no, they're the same size. Hang on. Okay, so found some smaller. Oh, so small I can't hold on to them. These things. Yeah. Uh-oh. Does that work? Oh, yeah. Sweet. So this will be my, it's just a bit of spare ignition pink wire that I'm going to use to feed my momentary switch. And on my roll of other stuff, I'll do that again. And this will be on the other side of my switch. Trim that back out, it's a little long. over. Bend that over like so. And it might just whack a little bit of tape around them just so they don't move around wherever that might be. That'll be enough for now. So that's me switch. Right, take that little keeper off now. Got to try and feed it up over the top of the light switch. Can I do that successfully? Might be able to. Yes. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? That's not going to screw in there, is it? How does this go in there? Maybe I got these around the wrong way. Maybe the light switch needs to go over there in the starter. The light's there in the starter here. Oh, no, that doesn't work either. How does that work? Maybe I need to drill that out. I'm sure that went through there like that. Okay, so scratches. I just found another picture online of one of these, and the starter button is actually mounted in there and the headlights are mounted in that one, but my headlight thing won't fit through there anyway, and here's the original one which does, because it's smaller than this aftermarket one. So either way I'm going to have to do some hole drilling, opening up holes. I kind of want the headlight switch outboard, so I might just leave that where it is and drill out that hole there to take the trunk release switch. You know what I'm saying? It's just bad. Yeah, what a pain. I'm sure I read it, saw a picture with it all mounted the other way, so managed to scratch that undoing it. So I'm going to put that back together and we'll drill out that one. Oh, one more. There it goes. There's nothing worse than drilling into new paint, but this is the way the cookie crumbles. Oh, it's got that tab on it, isn't it? This is going to foul me up. Oh, of course. That's something I didn't factor. I wonder if I just bend that back. There it is. Doesn't want to get tight, of course. Hey, okay, so this is my trunk release power feed in. Obviously this is the power feed out, which will go to the actuator. This white wire here is actually the little courtesy light that goes in the glove box, and I'm going to feed them into just one of the spare 12 volt constant, you know, battery output sort of thing. So that'll be, I think that's live when there's power in, so that's something I'll be testing in that later on, hopefully. And yeah, so I'll just quickly going to tie those two together and feed them into that little battery 1 spot there. I think it says 1, I haven't got my glasses on. Yeah, 1, 2. So they're just like spare, what do you call it? So, you know, just 12 volt outs, you know, if you're putting any extra accessories. So we may tie in, you know, like the other feed for the radio into there, one of those. And if I'm thinking of putting central locking in this, so I might use one of those for that as well. So there we have it. So I'll just tie those together. I won't film that because it's awkward. Okay, so that's that tied in there. So that's those two right there, see? And just notice there's another accessory out there, plus I saw another one. Where? Sure I did. Battery. Oh, there's accessory 1 and accessory 3. So I don't know where accessory 2 is, but yeah, we might. It's for like. Oh, fuck. Ow. Ow. That's for like, I don't know. Maybe the cigarette lighter or something you would have on accessories. Yeah, that's probably a good idea not to have that live all the time. So that might go into one of those feeds. Actually, that's something I can probably look at doing, getting that done as well before I move under the engine bay. Because I've got to, I don't know where it is. Actually, I've got to run a wire for that out the front. I don't know where I'm going to put a tank yet, but where is that cigarette lighter thing? It's got to go in that hole over there. Actually, I probably could have tied in off that switch, but hey, here's that doodad. I'm going to get that apart. Actually, doesn't look like it's actually even really been used, which is cool. Needs good clean, but getting this apart might be a little bit trickier. It looks like it's bent inside there, so I'll have to gingerly unscrew that. Oh yeah, man, what a shame. Looks like it's been stood on. I'll have to see if I can straighten it out and look and clean all that up as well. It's full of paint. Hey guys, so managed to get this, the little housing kind of straightened out a bit. I'm just using some lacquer thinners to get all that blue paint off. It was splattered around, all sprayed inside here. It was actually coming up pretty good. And yeah, so should be good. I don't know whether the original wire was kind of crimped into there or whether it was some kind of little plug, but I don't quite know how I'm going to attach a wire to that yet, but we may just kind of crimp something in it and run it to one of those accessories on the fuse panel block thing. But yeah, cleaning up quite nicely inside, and all the blue paints now seems to be gone from the outside. I just want to decorrode the terminal on the inside a little bit, and then we'll stick that in, wire it up, fill the hole if nothing else, and it'll be factory and period correct with the original little push button lighter thing. I don't know if this works or not, it doesn't really worry me, probably won't get used, but it's more just as long as it looks good. You'll be able to plug a USB charger or something in there, some other kind of accessory thing. I did think about wiring one of those up under the dash, but to be honest, I don't use them a lot. So if I'm on long trips, I tend to plug my phone in to keep it charged while I'm listening to the Bluetooth. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if I should use some polish on that. Okay, so that's the end of that. So I don't, like I said, I don't know whether that had some kind of plug pushed into it or whether it was a crimped wire that's now been pulled out. But I found one of these little terminals that I think I can maybe reconfigure this, squeeze that up a bit so I can then just plug that into the back. Is that a good idea? I don't know. Like I say, it's not going to get used heaps. I need to just round this up a little bit so that'll go on. Oh yeah, yeah, like that. Perfect, I think. And got some red wires that I'm going to run to that, so I'll get me some heat shrink and I'll terminate this onto there and make a wire to go to one of those accessory things. So get some heat. I'll get some heat shrink. So that just goes in there like so. Oops, it's a bit snug. Make sure it goes in there like that. Yep. It's a lot tighter than I thought it was going to be. Run my wire up in there. And my wire just, that's my wire. And my wire just doesn't want to fit now. What's going on? God. Like so. Eventually. Is that on there? No. It went on before. Why is it not going on now? Oh no, that's getting loose. Okay, so finally got that wire on the back. I just got to tighten it up, terminate it, and that's my little not exactly snug fitting, but hopefully it'll stay in there. Maybe need to bend those tabs out a little bit. Okay, that's better. Finally, just bent the wee tabs out. Those little horseshoe ones there, just pulled them up a little bit, and that'll hold it in place. Alrighty, so that big red fatty there, going into the accessory one, that's me, 12 volt accessory power cigarette lighter, whatever you want to call it. So that's another little job ticked off the list. I think that might be it for under here for now. That's those little ones I keep kind of forgetting about and stuff. So time to head around the front, I reckon, maybe. And also last week I was wondering about a brown park lights wire that was coming up into the dash harness. I found out that's actually for like a LED dash dimmer sort of thing. I was looking up some stuff during the week and figured that one out. What else was there? What I've been thinking of during the week. The other day I ran the neutral park switching that down out through the firewall and whatnot. I think I might pull that back in and actually run it down through the transmission tunnel, whether I drill a new hole to drop it through or whether I can actually drop it through there. It might just, because there's a few other wires that I've got to kind of come and go with the neutral safety switch for like backup lights and stuff, so it might actually be better if I run it kind of under the dash and through the tunnel, in some way. I was not sure if I want to run any wires through this opening here, because I do want to kind of close that off, so I thought I might end up drilling another cable hole and grommeting it and doing it that way, and running what I have to run a keyed 12 volts down there, and I have to run my backup light wire back out, which I haven't got backup lights yet, but I do kind of want to put them in. And what else has to come out of there? The neutral safety switch has to kind of come back out of there and go down to the starter, so that can probably stay down there, unless I do it off a relay. I am wondering whether I should put a starter relay in somewhere. Initially when I did the truck I didn't, but I did have some current drop issues when it was hot, so we put a starter relay in down by the starter, which I don't really like where it sits in the truck. I wouldn't mind it a bit more hidden, but ideally you want it kind of close to the starter. So I was thinking of putting some relays in, because I have to do one for the fuel pump. I think I need to do one for the Holly EFI stuff somewhere, I think. There's relays with it, so I'm not sure how they're going to work. And I thought about doing one for the starter, and I need one for the fans, and so I've got a little relay box kicking around here somewhere, which I thought maybe of mounting up on that side, so all the kind of relay stuff's all over there and all the fuse stuff's over here. You know what I mean? Because otherwise if I do all the relay stuff over here, it's going to get really, really tight up under the dash under there, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, enough of jibber jabber, let's go up the front and have a look. Okay, so I just did one more thing before I come out here, which is run this yellow mamma jamma, which is just my washer pump wire. As of yet, I don't know where that's going to go. Where to put a washer bottle. I did think about maybe trying to find something that'll sit up on the back of the firewall over there, you know, just because it's got to go somewhere. Or do I find some plastic one out of a japper or something that can bring a nozzle up here and mount it down there somewhere, but don't really want to do that because that'll mean moving guards and shit like that. But, so I don't know yet. I kind of look half-heartedly every so often and then get distracted by some shiny thing and forget what I was looking at. But anyway, I need a new battery. I've loomed up all this that's just going to come through up the front here on this side. Everything else, like that starter solenoid wire, can't remember what that brown one is, sensors, that'll come out, but maybe over that side. If it does come down this side, I'll cover it up. But like I said earlier, I might reroute that starter wire and possibly even those two sensor wires and have them just come up on top of the trans tunnel to their respective sensors, so they're not actually in the engine bay as such. They come up that way. Could be tricky to do, but not really. Probably easier to do that than kind of what I was thinking. But anyway, I'm going to bring this is all my headlights, turn signals, horn, park lights, and yeah, high and low, park, left and right, and horn is that one. What's that green one? Oh, that's high beam, and then that's turn. So I'm going to bring them up and out here. I've just found a wee grommet and put a grommet in that hole, and then they'll get divvied up once they come through here. Some will go in there and back, and then across to the other side. Okay, so my left turn and park, they're going to route down here somehow into this cavity here and get connected to my turn signal and park light. So they only need to really be about so long. I'll cut a little bit extra out of them for now, so get rid of those. But the park has got to go that way and come back. So that's got to come across both sides. And this one, so we're going to go head, right turn, that's going to just go all the way across there, somewhere, is that right? Right turn, yeah, oh, just long enough. And what have we got here? The horn, that's going to land up here and then connected to the other side, so that's got to go that way. And the headlight is going to go through there and here, and then it's going to have to double back over to the other side too. What I'm trying to decide though is, do I put a plug of some sort on the back of the headlight or in here so I can kind of unplug them if need be, or do I just run the wires through, and if I have to undo them I have to pull the plugs out of the plastic plug. That makes sense? Righty, so this is my turn signal and park light. So we have the two park lights coming down, and then it's just like doubled up until I put one of these little waterproof plugs on it. They're a bit of a fiddly thing. I wouldn't mind using something like that up here, but these are maybe a little fine for the amperage that's going to go through the headlight circuit. I'll have to see if I've got any heavier ones. I don't think I do. So next up now though, I need to route these headlight wires and up out through the headlight bucket hole, and maybe put the buckets in and some grommets and stuff like that, so I can work out my lengths and things like that. So okay, so once again the totally stainless nut and bolt kit is short. Like, these headlight buckets call for 16 screws all up, either side. The kit provides 8 altogether. So I'm just going to put 4 in for now. Well, I could put the old rusty ones back in, but yeah, I'm going to take the headlights out again anyway, because I have to put new headlights in for the New Zealand left-hand, right-hand drive dipping thing. You know, our headlights dip the opposite side to what these ones will be. These will be American ones. New Zealand one's got a dip to the left. Is that right? Yeah. I'll put a grommet in there before I put that in. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Don't think so anyway. Yeah, so that's one bucket in anyway, so I'll hum and ha whether I chuck the other screws in, the old ones. They're just not very nice looking, but you're not going to see them anyway. So I've cut these headlight high and low down to a more suitable length, and I've got one of the earths, so this earth has got to come back out and get tagged into something. I actually wonder, I'm going to probably tag it in, I don't know, up here somewhere or something like that. So I only really need it as long as these ones, so I'll cut that down as well. And then strip it back. And then, uh-oh, it's come off. Right, anyway, I'll put my plug on. So this is that. So that's a big fat one. So that's for putting 2 wires in. Now let's see if I can terminate it nicely, just like that. Right, do this 10. Use this one. See that one. And one more for the black. Right, there's some tape. I need to tape these up. Leave a little bit exposed so I can see the colours. Alrighty, so I've got a grommet to go through there. It's going to go there. There. Once I'm going to put that earth, there's actually a hole just there. I wonder if I just flip that up and straight on there, like that. So that's going to go that way a bit. It'll be in there-ish. Yeah, could just go there. Quick and simple. Alrighty, so which way am I looking at this plug? From the front or from the back? Let's have a look. Get a better picture. See detail A. Where'd be that? I'm thinking it must be that way. Oh yeah, looking at it from that way. Right, I got it now. Don't panic, I figured it out. So, looking at it that way, the top one is the tan one, goes in like so. Right, put it in the right way. Yeah, like so. Yep. And then green ground to this side. And then green to that side. And that's it. Feed that back through. Plug that mammoth jammer into the headlight. Put the headlight in. Okay, so got that headlight screwed into place. It's pretty straightforward. You guys probably know how to do that. I learnt. Right, now all that's left over here that's coming across the front is all of the right hand side stuff, turn signal, headlight, and horn. So we'll bring having a horn over here and over here. I did go and grab those just to see how they worked, because I haven't actually looked at them, and they're going to need a bit of a spruce up, so to speak. And which way does this go? Which one goes that way? No, it doesn't. It goes next to that side. So they bolt on to the radiator things there, and their terminal was just one of those things. So I might change those up, maybe just put a spade terminal or something on there, because they used to go onto those little factory switch blocks that were bolted up here. Oh, I put my earth through there as well, so it's kind of through the, I don't know, sheet metal. It's the same piece of sheet metal that I did try screwing it into, but I couldn't find a screw the right size to get in there. So I just kind of filed that out, took the paint and stuff off it, and hope for the best. So what I'm going to do now is start kind of tying this together to work out how to get it all through over this side and where I'm going to route it. I'm thinking I might just bring it down and peg it behind the, across here. Maybe put some P-clips or something in just to hold it down, stop it kind of vibrating and stuff. I kind of would rather it was there, easily accessible if need be. Like if I ever have to pull a guard off this, I'm going to have to kind of pull some of the terminals and that out of the plugs to get the buckets and stuff out, because the plugs don't fit through the holes. It's a pain, which is why they had these termination blocks here. But like I say, I don't have any plugs that'll kind of have enough amperage handling to do it the other way, put plugs in that in. But I did think about it, but I didn't do it. So anyway, I'm going to take these up, start kind of tidying this up so I can get it across to the other side. And this bit here, this is my horn wire. I'm not going to do anything with that just yet. I'm just going to loop a bit out there. That's right. Up here. Okay, finishing touch for the front, 56 bezels. Yeah, look at that, eh? Okay, so that's the headlights in, wired, turn signals in, wired, horns not wired, all the wiring's there for them, but haven't done anything. I've got to paint the horns and that yet, dress them up a little bit, and then I'll bolt those up once that's done. But yeah, what do you think of those? For some of you guys, it's probably the first time seeing those 56 bezels and that mounted up. A lot of people were asked on one of the Facebook pages about this, like they thought I'd kind of grafted in 56 kind of eyebrows, but they were all kind of custom made. If you look back through some of the old videos, you can see some of the welding scars and that, and there's one video that kind of explains them with some photos and shit, but I wasn't doing YouTube when I did those. But yeah, it's sort of, that's them bolted up. I really kind of would like to get some power into it now and see whether all that stuff works. If it doesn't work, it looks good, but yeah. But yeah, so I wonder if I can do that. I've got some battery cables that I took out of the truck that were a little bit light, because the truck's battery's mounted a wee ways away from the starter, whereas these are the ones I took out. There's a bunch of earth straps and whatnot. I'm just wondering if they're going to be a bit on the thin side. They'll probably be alright, being there's, you know, the starter cable's not got a very long distance to travel, so it's not going to have a current drop in that. I reckon it'll be okay. Worst case scenario, I've just got to take it out and replace it, but if it works, it means it's money that I've already spent and I don't have to spend it again, because I already spent it twice on the truck, because I put some bigger cables in there when I was having that starting issue with it. I thought it was coming from there, but it was actually coming through the solenoid wire, where I was getting a voltage drop, so it wasn't clicking the solenoid over properly. So we put a relay into that, which is, I want to do something similar with this as well. Just, you never know what you lose through the keys and through the wiring and through any joints and neutral park switches and stuff like that. So if I can just use that ignition wire, the purple one, as like a trigger for a relay, and get a good, you know, high amp 12 volt jump to the solenoid from the relay. Yeah, but yeah, I'm going to put some stuff away and then we'll see where we go from here. Okay, so with much pissing around, I actually got an eyelet thing on here. It's a little bit big for this size of cable, but hopefully it'll be alright. Soldered it. In the past I've crimped them. I don't know why I changed tact. I've just seen other people soldering them, so I thought I'd give it a crack. You know what I'm saying? Right. Anyway, I'll see if I can get this attached to the starter motor. And do I want to go to the starter motor, or do I go to that other thing? Starter motor, yeah. Hey guys, so it's getting really, really hot. Not my wiring yet, but I've got battery in. Got these, like I've just kind of run the battery cable up from there. I've put a ground to the block and a ground to the chassis. I need to do another one to the body. I don't really quite know where to do that, whether to do something to the core support or whether I should get into the main body of the thing, you know what I'm saying? But where, I don't know. That bulb's having a little hissy fit over there, but so I don't know where to jump on from, like maybe one of the bell housing bolts, or maybe off the back of the block to the body somewhere. And yeah, I thought about maybe doing a short, thinner one just up to here. Maybe just bolt something up, you know, I don't know, even to one of these or something, just like a ground for up the front. And yeah, then we can hook the battery up and see what catches fire. Hopefully nothing. I'm running out of day. What, still seems like it's just glistening out there, but it's actually, well, it's nearly 6 o'clock in the evening and I'm a sweaty pig. But yeah, I've got one more kind of pre-made ground that I had in the truck, so I might see if I can utilize that somewhere and bolt it on, and then we ground it. I still need to make a little one for the front. Yeah, getting there. Haven't got that other ground on yet. I started undoing a bell housing bolt and realised the bolts are too big to go through that ground cable, so I'll try somewhere else. Might do another one off the other side of the head to the body. I'm going to have to put grounds for the holly to the back of the head anyway, so I need to have some bolts in place for that. Yeah, so we're getting there. I don't know whether I mentioned, but I've got all this front harness all pinned up and taped up and whatnot. Just got to attach the horns when we get that far, so I'll put a few P-clips and that in there just to tidy that up and lock it down. But yeah, I'm kind of running out of steam for today, so we'll leave it at that. I'm done. I'm hot and sweaty and it's 4 o'clock, so see you tomorrow. How's it going? So it's the next day. Where did I leave off last night? That's right, I've got a couple more earth straps I want to put on. I want to put another one, I want to put one up here at the core support area, just a thinner one, sort of something like that, but I have to make it black. Don't want to put a red one on there. And I want to do another one kind of down the back, down to sort of the firewall somewhere, like maybe off the back of the block or the heads or something like that. Maybe onto those, I don't know, somewhere that it's, you know, kind of out of the way, that I can get access to and whatnot. And then that should be all the earth straps sort of sorted, and then we'll be able to hopefully turn the key and see what works and what doesn't so far. So I'm going to make up one of these. I'm thinking this one I might just run from here to maybe one of these support bolts, but then tuck it down in front of the battery, so I'll put a little bit of length into it, so it kind of looks, you know, it kind of pushes it out of the way so it's not too visible. But yeah, so we'll get ahead and do that. I'm just going to see if I've got another eyelet that I can chuck on there. I know I had some loose ones kicking around in a box down here. Okay, so I'll just put a bit of I'm going to crimp one of these on here since I've got this heavier duty crimping device. It seems easier than the way I used to do it. Do another one. That should do us. Got it a bit bent. So I'll put a heat shrink in that, and then I'll probably just wrap this in my fibre wrap stuff just to make it black. And I should probably cut it to length first, I think. I really need to buy another one of those little gas sliders or buy a refill thing for it, but where is that tape? Actually, I've got to get my length first. Just doing it down here. A little bit of wiggle length in it, so maybe that here. Cut it off. This is how you turn positive wire into negative wire. Make it look old-fashioned at the same time. This is that kind of fibery cloth tape. It's probably terrible for holding water and stuff, but it looks cool. Got it off Temu, in case you're wondering. A mate of mine was saying last night he gets his off AliExpress. So, I've never seen this for sale here, but all we seem to have on the shelf is like your normal vinyl electrical tape. which I still use a bit of as well, just for kind of probably sealing things up a little bit better. Custom little earth strap. Right, bolt that on. Okay, so that's that one on there. This clamp's a bit big actually, so it's kind of a bit crushed, but it holds. But I've got these rubber boot things that'll cover it, and that's just that little strap runs down through there and bolted up onto there. Shortened up one of my leftover earth straps, and I'm going to run there's 3 bolt holes, 10mm bolt holes on the back of the head. I'm going to run it down and around that brace and hook it onto one of those 2 kind of inner fender screws there, and hopefully that'll get enough bite because they go through into the kind of the strut brace on the bottom of the firewall there. There is speed clips and stuff involved, but I'm pretty sure there's a metal on metal contact, so we should be alright hopefully. But so that'll make, we've got one going from the other head to the chassis. I know we've got one going from head to chassis, head to battery, battery to body over there, and we'll go block to body over here. So I'll get that bolted in. It's probably going to be a bit awkward to film, so I won't bother with that. I'll just show you when I'm done. Alright, okay, so I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but bolted in down there with the spring washer, and it just loops around the back of that brace and onto the kind of that screw there that bolts onto the brace. So that's all my grounds in place. So now is do a little bit of testing, see what works and what doesn't. Hopefully we're all good. Only way to find out though is to pull the trigger or pull the switch. Park light. Battery's not connected. That'll might help if you have 12 volt things. No smoke yet. Lights. Park lights. Ooh, you boy. Headlights. Oh, I see the light on the wall. Yeah, boy. High beam. Yeah, boy. What else can we check? Signals. Leave key on for that though. Can't do the horn, can't do any brake lights or anything like that yet, they're not all hooked up. We'll have a look inside at the dash, see what that's doing. Do the lights work on the dash? Yes. Turn. Yeah. Oh. That's a handbrake light flashing right. Weird. I'll have to look into that. Oh, high beam. Does that work on there? Okay, I found one fault. Oh, high beam light works. That works. Wipers. They're doing their thing. Oh, this isn't doing anything. Maybe that bulb's bad. So I'll hook that up. I might have to check that. Might see if I can get 12 volts in there. Yeah, 12.27. I don't know if you guys can see that. 12.28. Yep, so we've got power there. Sweet. I think that's about all I can check actually, other than why that flashlight's not working. Could be a bad bulb. Can't really tell. Thing I can check is that we've got, that should be courtesy lights. Should there be power? Should there be power to that? I would have thought so. I need to earth that. We've only got 0.04 of a volt. That's weird. Has it got an earth? Nothing there. And this orange is my, goes through all my switches, so oh yeah, so that's it, the earth circuit on the door switches. As for why there's not power there, it's in courtesy ground. I don't know. Thought there would be power going to that. Maybe there's not. I don't know. I need to put a bulb on it and play around with it. Not right now. I've got to figure out what's up with this gauge. So that being the park brake light, I'm sure there's supposed to be one over there. Maybe that's what I muddled up. I was looking at the this is the wiring diagram that I followed, and if you look, I'll grab a pointing device. That's my blue wire going to my left turn, and I looked at that, and that grey wire is going to, yeah, it says right turn on there, but that's not how it is. Anything else in here that maybe I followed the wrong instructions, I'm sure. Yeah, so that's, yeah, so this is different. So that's your handbrake there on that side, which would be on the right hand gauge. So with that being said, what else have I cocked up? Seeing that one there, that's a single gauge. They give you instructions for basically everything they do, which makes it all the more confusing. Oh, hang on. Yes, and there's a quad gauge set. So it's got the two gauges, and left and right, saying grey right turn, and that's what I did. Hopefully they've revised this. Oh, hang on. Tacho speedometer. Oh, 3-in-1 gauge. Oh, hang on. This might be on me, lads. I think I might have followed the wrong instructions. Yeah, that. Okay. Yeah, this is on me. I followed the wrong instructions when I wired up my gauges as to how much it's going to affect it. I'm going to need to do some comparisons to what I've done and to what I've got here. Maybe do a bit of Googling and have a look on the New Vintage site and just see what exactly I've done. At this point, I know it's just that turn signal, but what worries me is if I've mucked up things like the VSS and the tax signal and stuff like that. I'll have to go back and forth and check them all, and probably pull that harness out and do it all again. But yeah, oh well, we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so this is, I think, the correct diagram. It actually looks more correct gauging on the stuff that I can see on here. For the most part, my 12 volt switched is fine, temp sender is fine, speed signal is fine. I've been comparing with what my notes on this side here. The oil pressure I have hooked up the wrong way, so that's got an asterisk next to it. What did I do on that one? Yellow, it was OGS 1, so yeah, not sure what the deal with that was. Maybe the yellow was right. Hang on, oil pressure is on this gauge, yeah. So the tan was my high beam, that was correct. My lighting was correct, they're two tied together on both sides. The tan on this side was just a 12 volt warning. I can't remember what that one was for. That is just a red triangle. The grounds were good. Violet not used. What was violet on there? Not used as well. The grey, which is where that's my handbrake signal. I put a wee circle next to it because I do have a switch on my handbrake. I might be able to hook that up. That'd be quite cool. And then grey on the other gauge is my right turn, and then we have the blue, which is my left turn, which is right, which is correct, I should say. Then there's a check engine light, which I haven't used, and then we've got green, which is my fuel sender, which I think I have on the wrong gauge somehow. So no, that's, yeah, on the wrong gauge, so I've got to switch that from side to side. And the brown program buttons, they're fine. So with all that being said, now I have to take out that harness again and maybe I might be able to repin some of it, maybe not. It might just be easier to sort of cut open the wrap and the heat shrink and resolder the stuff that I got wrong, and then see where I can maybe tie in that handbrake, because I've got a little micro switch here. Not quite sure how that works. It might be an earth switch of sorts, so I don't know. Has it got capability for 2 wires? No, I don't know how I'll work that. Well, either that or I just run 12 volts to it. I don't know. I'll have a look. Hey guys, so got my little harness back out, and I've been poking around and unraveling my wrap and stuff, and I've exposed some of the ones that I need to change. I think I've got them all, and that was my fuel sender, my right turn, and my right turn oil pressure and fuel, I think were the main ones. Yeah, we've got asterisks next to my oil pressure sender, my right turn, and my fuel sender, fuel level, fuel gauge. So as far as I can tell, that's the 3 that I mucked up. One of them, yeah, that handbrake thing that kept coming up, that switch on there is an earth switch, so I've got to figure out how to make that work, if I can make it work. It would be quite cool if I could, but I don't quite know how that works. It's kind of like a courtesy light circuit, but I don't know how it's going to work with this gauge sort of setup. If it was just a bulb on the dash, I could probably figure it out, but the way it comes into here and where it gets its power from is a little bit trickier. So unless there's, yeah, if I put 12 volt to that, it lit up. I don't know. Sometimes this is real easy and it makes sense to me. Other times it's just like messes with my head. But we'll get this stuff fixed up first, and then we'll figure out whether I can make that work or not. Okay? So I'll just wait for my soldering iron to warm up. It takes a while. And I'll see if I can figure out this e-brake light. signal circuit thing. Okay, so that's done my right turn, and so that yellow now is no longer used because that is something else. So we want to hook up this yellow to that. Is that right? That's oil pressure. That's oil pressure. Oh, I didn't put any heat shrink on. Damn it. I've got a big blob on there now. Damn it again. Yeah, so that's that one done. So I got my fuel was wrong, which is this tan wire. I should check that before I do this. Fuel gauge, yep. Just desolder that. Managed to burn my finger already, so that was good. What that green? Green will now be unused. It's an auxiliary input. So green should be my fuel on the other harness there. That should be all of the repairs made. Go through and do a final check off camera. And then, right, I'll go through and sort these out, and hopefully I've got it right this time. Okay, so it's all taped up again. I put a little spade terminal on this wire here, which is actually for that handbrake light. I did a bit of googling, and I need to do like a ground, what did I call it? Ground, so I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. Ground triggered relay. So I've got to do some other relay stuff at a later date, so I'll try and remember to do that. The other redundant wires I've just kind of left out again, just in case I find a reason to pick up on those. There's a check engine light and another like warning light trigger type thing. Whether something can come off the Holly system to trigger, to trigger those, I don't know yet. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but for now I just put a little bit of heat shrink in that on them, and yeah, so we'll stick this thing back up in there and hopefully everything works again. I don't know how I can test other stuff yet, but yeah, I went through the fuses before too. I've actually blown a fuse, and I think it's my glove box light thing. I think that's earthing out because it's on that circuit. Figures. So I might just delete that. Alright, so and that was that fuse blowing again. I just changed that fuse, so maybe it wasn't what I thought it was. Yeah, so we'll just have a quick skiz at that. It'll be this mamma jamma here. Yep, she's blown. So what have I got going on in that circuit that's grounding out? Oh well, I'll have to investigate that. But for now, I want to see yes. Okay, so they work. But as for what else have I got on that circuit? I have to do some investigating and find out what I've got earthing out. Wondering if it's something to do with these courtesy lights, because I haven't got 12. There should be 12 volts running to there, and then that's the ground. And I remember questioning how it all worked when I wired them in. So I'm not too sure what I've done there. It might be in these door switches, I can't remember now, but we'll have to have a look. Okay, so found my problem. I just had wired up my door switch grounds wrong, so it was blowing a fuse every time I hooked the battery up. But check it out. Da-da, da-da, da-da. I don't know whether the switch works or not. I mean, the door switch does. I've got to check the other side, so go and do that. It's off. Yep. Exciting stuff. Can this door light work? Yeah, boy. Alright. Next is, will it work off the switch? That's what I'm not sure. So I'll reach around and... Huh? It does. Woohoo! Fixed it! Right, now I have to see whether, if I hook that glove box one back up, will that work? That would be quite cool to have if it works, but I'll just disconnect it for a minute. I've only got a little mini fuse in there at the moment too, but it is a 20 amp fuse, but it's just one of those little weenie ones. I was rummaging through there and I found one of those before I found a proper size one. So I'll hook up that switch again and see what happens. Alrighty, so bulb's not going, but we've got voltage to it. So is it just the bulb? Ah, pain in the ass, all the springs fell out. Oh well. Don't know where everything went. Okay, so that's those things wired up and fixed. I still don't know what's up with the glove box light. I went and found another bulb in the old harness, but I don't know whether it's any good or not. I'm getting 12 volts to it. I just don't know. I should have checked to see if it was switching. But yeah, I put it all back together anyway, but it didn't work. So, I don't know. Worry about that another day. I've got the power off again now. Well, that's still quite hot. So yeah, so I got that figured. I ended up pulling out my old workshop manual. I think it's a Haynes or Chilton. It's a Haynes C10 GMC sort of stuff, and that helped me figure out what I'd done wrong with my interior light circuit. I remember when I did it on my truck, on my C10, it was seemed really straightforward, and I couldn't figure out what I'd done wrong under here. But what I had done was I was running 12 volts through all the door switches rather than having them as a ground circuit. I just had a couple of things back to front, which I knew there was something weird. I had done something weird when I was wiring that up the other week. I just couldn't put my finger on it, but with the help of the old C10 to the rescue manual anyway, we got that sorted. So my courtesy lights work. Don't quite know what I'm going to use for the courtesy lights here. I have got the original base. I'm not sure if I've got the cover. Yeah, whether I maybe go and get something for that I can mount up there, I'm not too sure. As usual, like, I'll show you. Here's the original base. Like, it's like someone just set off a blue paint bomb inside that truck, inside the car. I've got to figure out how that switch wires into the equation, but it's basically just power and earth to the bulb. So whether the power loops around onto here somehow, or the earth, or whether that's an earth switch as well, but it's just pretty crunchy. Yeah, I'm I don't know if I've got the cover for it, or whether I should maybe just go and find some aftermarket little thing that I can screw up there and it'll do what it needs to do. This one here is a little big, and the extension cords have to get quite long to run that one. But yeah, so making gains, bit of troubleshooting, a bit of new stuff laid down. Pretty happy with getting all those lights and stuff working. Sort of next on the agenda is I probably should start running some stuff out the back. To do that, I need to suss out what I'm going to do with some maybe reverse lights, if I put one on, or a couple of them on, and number plate lights. I have got some of those little screw-in things that go through the number plate, but they look a bit, yeah, I don't know about those, last resort. And tail lights. I've got tail lights. Some of the plugs are a little bit kind of, one of the plugs in particular is a bit kind of rusty and crappy and stuff, but it might still be serviceable. I discovered in one of these kits the new little brass tabby things that go on there, and then I can, you know, hook up my fuel sender. I actually just earthed out the fuel sender, this tan wire, and the gauge was creeping up, so it was like earthing out, so that's good. So hopefully I've got the right ohmage on my sending unit. I think I did all that homework ages ago before I bought it. And yeah, got my trunk release wire there to go, so I'll get that hooked up. And yeah, after that I'm not too sure what's next. I'll probably need to start looking at the Holly stuff, and I really need to get a drive shaft made. That'll be after Christmas now. It's only a week or so away from Christmas at the time of recording this. But yeah, we're getting there. We're still making a mess, but this is my kind of organized chaos kind of thing at the moment. Every so often when I work like this, I just have to have it all in here so I know where it's all at. I know it's in here, and that's where I go looking for it rather than in the toolbox. Once we get kind of you know, out of the inner car, I'll probably have a big clean up, sweep up all my offcuts and stuff. That's what I've got to do. I've got to do my horns, or possibly even buy some new horns. I don't know. Might have a look, see how spendy they are. If they're only $40 or $50, I might just buy new horns. And you know, then I don't have to do all that work to tidy up the old ones. So also still kind of rethinking the routing for some of these other wires that aren't part of that harness. Look at that, that's nice and neat and tidy, eh? And that's kind of the way I want to keep it. These red mamma jammers probably still going to have to stay this way, yeah, because one of them's a big alternator wire and one of them's another one off the ignition, I think. One of them potentially could go down through the trans tunnel. Like I said the other day, I'm thinking of running something down inside the trans tunnel, like to run some of those sensor wires and things like that. That's what I've got to do, get that temp sensor. Got to drill and tap for my oil pressure sensor. Explain that when we get there. And yeah, but for now, that's enough rabbiting. I'm at 6.5 minutes of waffling on about what I'm going to do and what I haven't done and what I broke and yeah, anyway. If you haven't subscribed and you're still keen at this point, hit the subscribe button, notifications bell, like, share, comment, all that kind of good stuff. And as always, thank you very much for watching and supporting my channel. And it's growing ever so slowly, but yeah, it's not like I'm not going to be buying a racetrack anytime soon, let me tell you. And yeah, until next time, take it easy and peace.